Hello, so I'm finally starting my YouTube channel. So last year I started training myself how to do glass blowing using my skill tree, which is going very well. So I'm learning from this book, which has everything I need to know about it for beginning. And it goes through literally everything, so like history, how to set up a lampwork studio. And right now I'm on basic solid techniques, which I have then put onto my skill tree here. So I'm going through all the projects and gradually ticking them off. So I started with making glass pens. So this is how they were looking in the very beginning. And with more practice, a couple months later, this is how they're now looking. So after I felt comfortable making pens, I then moved on to crowns. So I started by making Rapunzel's crown, which, you know, it's a bit wibbly, and some parts even fell off. And originally this was actually this color. It was supposed to be this lovely yellow, but it turns out it was a striking color and it changed in the annealer and now it's turned brown. Which, you know, in the movie, her hair goes from blonde to brown. So, you know, I could pretend like that was on purpose, but it wasn't. And this is what it looks like on... And I get this feeling every time. I'm planning on making this again in a few months' time once I've got a bit more skills, and I'm sure it's gonna look way better. But I wouldn't have even dreamed of making something like this like 3 months ago. But anyway, this is the first crown I ever made, and I was very, very proud of it. Then I made Fandul's crown from The Hobbit, which was not easy to make because it's all exposed at the front and it actually sits behind the head and cuffs over the ears. So this was a very good challenge for me. This one actually didn't fit in the annealer in the end, it's too tall. But I did finish the design and it does fit. And again, I'd love to see what I can make of this in like a year's time. And I'm gonna make one more crown. I've got one more tick to do here for practice and I'm gonna do Elsa's crown from Frozen. I've also done stirrers. So this was my little Pokeball stirrer, and these ones all sold. This one actually broke. This is the one I kept for myself, which was the first one I ever made, but that's okay. And then after that, we're moving on to glass chess pieces, which I'm gonna do an Alice in Wonderland theme, and so on. So my goal this year is to learn the beginner to intermediate of glass blowing and flame working. And once I've done all this, I will go to Venice and go and see the real glass blowers and where it all began, which hopefully I'm gonna take you along with me. So it's going to be a long journey, but I think it's going to be lots of fun. So if you've watched any of my TikToks or YouTubes or Instagram Reels, you'll know that a lot of my videos are like in pieces, they're in parts. And it's mostly me like learning how to do something and reacting in the moment, and it's like kind of more entertainment based. But I've learned so much in the last like year or so, and now I feel like I'm at the point where I can do long format videos which are a lot more kind of education focused. So if anybody's interested in learning glass blowing or flame working, lamp work, then I can hopefully teach you. And all of my videos are coming from a place of, you know, this is how I've learned to do things and this is things that work for me. But in the beginning I found that it was really difficult to find videos that like just gave me solid answers on things and were concise and troubleshooting, that kind of thing. So I'm basically trying to make the videos that I wish I had when I started. So I'm going to cover lamp working and how to get started, and equipment and setup, also silicone mold making. I'm also learning how to make ceramic molds and plaster molds for slip casting, which I'm going to be starting very soon. I can also do videos on 3D printing, and that's for both resin and filament printers. Also vac pumps and how to use them. Also kiln-based glass practices. For example, freeze and fuse like this. Also things like studio tours. I've also recently changed all my packaging. I finally found something that looks really nice that I think like really captures my identity as an artist and looks really pretty. And it's all eco-friendly and recyclable. So if you like, I can make videos on like which suppliers I use and things like that. Also, if anybody wants help with like website design and photography and things like that, I can do those videos too. I also forgot about the machine I have upstairs. It's right up in the rafters. I also have a laser engraver, so you can do videos based on laser engraving, the various things you can do with it. I plan on obviously using mine for glass. So this is actually an old glass window pane that was going to get thrown to the dump, but I said I would take it. And I'm going to use the laser engraver to hopefully put like a chess checkerboard kind of design on top of this, and then make my little glass chess pieces, so it becomes like a usable, playable chessboard. And kind of the stuff I've never really covered on TikTok. Such as how I went from like a hobbyist working out of my bedroom to becoming a full-time artist and also supporting my family. How I started making videos and how that supports me to live the way I do. And literally anything else that you want to ask me about. So I hope you come along with me for the journey. I really can't wait to see what we achieve this year. I'll hopefully be posting videos weekly.